Improv did. That's one that the local guy, Johnny Colley, did. He had me come in and play some weird guitar on this song about some demon living down in a hole in the ground. And what we're listening to is an early compilation of stuff by Maximum Love Vibes. Me and Mark McGee and occasionally some other people recorded, 5 records between 1990 and 1995 up on this island in Maine. So that's what we're listening to. Let's go into the other room where everything else is. Turtle! And we have Bicuspid and Incisor. Early hip bone compilation with one of my daughters in front of it. Oops. And an even earlier, is it? No, this is the next stuff that we put out on cassette. And then Punched by God. That one had 2 EPs on it. The Bill Knows EP. This was back when Clinton was president. And Halloween with Hip Bone. We played an old Halloween sound effects record at max volume in our rehearsal space and improvised to it and put it out as a Halloween record. Punched by God. After I moved to North Carolina, we did Chorok, which means green in Korean. That light's not helping, is it? And after that, we did one called Decoupage. Cool record. All right, let's move up. Coloratura, one of Ian Beabout's projects. Frets of Yore. Imperfect Strangers, a Cadavre Esquis compilation #1. That was a French guy that brought in some folks, of which I was one. There's Imaginary Locations. That's the one that I had on consignment with Steve Feigenbaum at Wayside, and I don't think it was selling because he sent them all back to me, and then I sold all of them. That worked out pretty good, actually. There's my signed to Rats. Had that at the gig down at Orion that Mike Potter pulled together for us, which was a lovely experience, despite what came afterward. There's Dave's second Man Mirage record, his sort of post or whatever Muffins project. Very nice. I'm on a tune on there that Dave doesn't play on, which I always found very odd. Here's the Jerry King, John Shirley record, Spaceship Landing on a Cemetery. This is, that, hell, look at that. That's Sugar. Hell, she's been dead 10 years. All right, there's the first Moonmen record, and the first Moonmen record sticker. There's the second Moonmen record with stickers behind it. What's that? Oh yeah, that's the Caterpillar Hedge improv core that I played with Justin Holt, Mike Giese, and who else? Oh God, I'm forgetting somebody. Someone help me here. I feel awful. I'll have to remember. Oh, Bill McConaughey, trumpet. That's it. Blue Malik, Cooper Deers, and Gary Maiulo and me with some friends. I think Dave's on it. Hart Ambient 1. This is the one that's supposedly Eschaton Crater. Boss Dog at Moonmen Industries. Put out as a solo record. And as you can see, it looks a lot like Music for Airports. That's Music for Airheads. And quite like Discreet Music, we have Misleading Music, another sort of Eno homage parody thing. And some things that sound like it a little bit are these two projects that I've done with my friend Derek, who lives out in Omaha, Derek Higgins. Yeah, look at that. That's one of those little teeny 3-inch CDs. I've got 100 of those left and cases. I got to do something with that. Look at that. Oh God, I gotta open this up for you guys. I'll show it to you in a minute. What's that? Oh yeah, Tom Fergas, this DIY icon from the 80s, is still around. And we've been in touch for a while. And that's the record that we did where we did a bunch of these real bizarre instrumentals and then sent them off to a whole mess of guitarists. Look at that list. Good God. That's why it's called I Borrowed Your Axe. Up. Oh, yeah, okay, we're good. Up, another tick treatment. Okay, there's the last 2 copies of Double Thud. I think I was wrong, Bruce, when I said I had more Double Thuds because I only got 2 and I kind of want to keep them. Oh, okay, there's the Walter Whitney and Me record, Creepy Clown Ice Cream Truck, which has people on it that are cool. You know, Moon Men people are on there. Derek Higgins is on there. Let's shoot on up here. Okay, that's my second. And we look behind it. Yep, first duet CD with Greg Siegel, my buddy on the West Coast. George W. Self, A Jungle of Sharp Elbows. That's a Bush quote. That's an instrumental record that'll punch you right in the nuts. Yeah. Rice, record I did over in Korea. Basically playing surf music on semi-Korean instruments. Here's my first CD. I had an arts grant that paid me $500 and somehow I got that thing released. It's really ugly. Look at this. The company did, oh wait, I fixed that one. How about this one? Nah, I fixed that one too. Anyways, if you get one from me out of the box, you have to yank up the CD tray to get the info because for some reason they didn't put the tray card in there. They put the info paper in there and didn't give me a tray card. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Let's see, this is Building. Basically, who were the consistent people in Building? I think it's me, Greg Siegel, and Eric Wallach. On this one, we played along with the guy that wrote the book called Zen Guitar, Phil Sudo. Rest in peace. Wonderful guy. I talked to him for about 6 months, and we did some duets recordings together. The intention was to do a whole duets record, and then he died of stomach cancer. Sucks. And, but he told me I could use the stuff when things were getting bad, and so I turned it into the 3rd Building record. There's Building number 1. You say potato, I say potata. Nice picture of Tibet. Let me see here. Yep. No, that other one was the second one. And here's comp number 3, and it's got a few other people on it. I think Bob Jordan and Fred Hall are on the 3rd one with us. All right. Steve Blake, my buddy up in East Douglas, who has Toad Hall Studios, took a bunch of my so-called Americana songs, you know, voice and guitar, and turned them into these sort of, I don't know, kind of wry country songs and created this band around it, or perhaps he already had the band and just has recorded other stuff with them. The Highway Patrol. It's really good. These were songs that I was actually playing in a Presbyterian church at the time. What's that? Parched Again, yeah. You can go online to this, something that has to do with NPR, and find these digital versions of Harry Parch's instruments and play them. And so why not record them while you play them and then do something with it? And on this, dig it. You get to hear, oh, for Christ's sakes, here we go. Look at that. All those different Parch instruments. It's awesome. Yep, that's the 3rd remaining copy of Tick Treatment. All right, Camera Obtusa. That's me and Mark McGee, my friend that lives on an island off the coast of Maine. He was in Max Love Vibes with me. We did a lot of garage and basement jams back in the 70s and stuff. Great drummer, killer cassette 4-track engineer. These two right here, Automatic Music. Automatic Music. Look at how this is a parody of a Pink Floyd record. Whoops, that light's not helping. There we go. Look back. Remember that picture with all the drums out in a field? Oh, but there's more. Just a second. Look at this madness. 1, 2, 3 discs. The book. Yep. Tragic Bunny. Kevin Killinger, guitar. Tragic Bunny played guitar through a bunch of vintage effects. Gentle Maniac, rest in peace, Fred Hall, guitar. East October, otherwise Ed Shepherd, played keyboards and sampling keyboard. Let's see. Yep, there's the toilet bowl. That was Fred's studio when he lived in Randleman that we did all of our many records in. You can see up here that Mushroom does not play on this CD. And there's more of the studio. Who's that? Okay, that's one of Fred's paintings. He was a Chapel Hill art student back in the day. Okay, there's me and Gurney Brown. You may know Gurney Brown from all of these books that are about the value of vintage instruments. He probably wrote it. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Where's the rest of that automatic music? Here we are. Ed Shepherd. Oh, let me get some light up there. Ed Shepherd did all of these. Every single one is incredibly elaborate. Each package, look at that one. It's kind of like Sgt. Pepper's. That style of screen printing. Lovely stuff. Here comes the Beef Hart parody. What was that record? Strictly Personal? Look at that. And then these, you see the orange one behind it? There's 4 CDs up there. There's also a bunch of cobwebs. I'm such a slob. We did 4 consecutive CDs, and Ed went out and took a picture of this place in Fred's property once per season, and those became 4 of our CDs. Winter, spring, fall, summer. Really cool. What are these? Here we go. Mike Coulda and Bless This Mess. More songs that I was playing in a, what was it then? Methodist church that I wrote. My wife crocheted these covers for me. Isn't that cool? Invented Thing Quartet, Bob Jordan, Mitch Ahern, help me here. Ken Dillon, 42R. And, oh God, who played the tablas? It'll come to me. Marshall Brooks, yes. Whole bunch of live stuff. They invited me into the Invented Thing Quartet as their 5th member and just said, bring whatever you want. I was the wild card. What are those? Oh, electric and acoustic guitar solos records. Sort of in the spirit of Fred Frith's stuff, I guess. I guess I got my permissions from him. More automatic music. There's some Camera Obtusa, that's post Maximum Love Vibes soundtrack music that I did with Mark. Okay, down here now, check this out. Tell me this isn't an elaborate cassette package. This was my very last cassette that I ever put out, and it's a Max Love Vibes compilation. Let's see. Look at this. Hipworks Productions presents a Bret Hart Pro Faux, that means progressive folk, look at little R for registered, song collection entitled Maximum Love Vibes. This is sort of what I looked like at the time. These are the actual copies of the lyric sheets that I had for the songs that are on this thing. Some of them are typed. Some of them have drawings on them. That song right there is so psychedelic. 6 Streams, that could have been on a record by the band Love. You Got a Good Thing There, Me and My Big Mouth. There's my anthem. Thinking about people in high school, Drifting Pals. Typewriter, we used a typewriter as the drums on that. Utility Pole. I'm not even going to go there. Look at, there's Myrna's dog. My friend Matt Lincoln's daughter drew that. Matt hired me when I got out of the Navy to screen print with him. So I put his daughter in there to kind of say thank you, Matt, and commemorate it. Look at that. Isn't that a killer cassette insert? Love it. What else we got? Good God, yes. Spud Suckers. Devo covers. I'm on there. What do I play? Devo Corporate Anthem. I played it on electric mandolin. Delicate Furies, a fundraiser that I put out. Oh, it's got so many nice people on it. You know, Bob Jordan, Nick Dudkovsky's on here, Ken Doan's on here. I could go on and on. All these killer guitars. But Fred Frith sent me a recording that was made when basically a guy was figuring out how to record his solo live rig with all of those various things going on, called Huey's Workout. So it's an unreleased Frith track that's on there. Very cool, real percussive and layered, looping. I Want to Be a Stooges. What do we play? Lust for Life on there in the spirit of like Mirror Man era Beefheart. Fester. I was involved in collecting these songs. This is a 2 CD Residents tribute that's really good. My friend Chad Bernhardt in New York was the other guy that helped out on that, and Spud Suckers. They were on pt1.com, if you remember that. Let's see. Hold the Vocals. I play oh mercy, what was it? Some surf tune. Who's on here? There he is. Blind Pineapple Phillips plays Pipeline. Once again, using the electric mandolin. There's both of Greg Siegel's most recent things that I'm aware of anyways. Love them. A whole bunch of buddies of mine are on that. 494 Polygons. I recorded that with Jerry Ford in Monterey, California 30-some years ago. Music that I composed on graph paper using triangles and circles and so forth. It's pretty strange stuff. Party Time. That was the first time somebody compared what I was doing on guitar to Fred Frith, and I was so honored. So, I think that was 85. Both Bullwinkle Pond and the Fives. The one that I did in 88, and then the one that I did again in 2003 from memory without listening to the first one again. What's that? Oh yeah, my Token Yankee CD. That's an upside down elephant skull. Both three-channel switch records. Me, Bob Jordan, and Eric Wallach. Fake jazz, really funny. Bob Jordan does a lot of cut-up stuff, sort of like the Firesign Theater, with little snippets from spoken word records and things. It's great. Both kudzu records, Redneck Gothic and Incest is Bad. There's the double CD with the UK saxophonist Phil Hargreaves. The greater part of what my neighbors call good, I believe to be bad in my soul. 2 discs with Eric Wallach. There's another one behind, which has a mashup. You gotta look pretty hard to see it. If there's a mashup of James T. Kirk and Uhura just getting ready to kiss in that episode where the weird perverted little Romans were like, who could do mind control, were using them like puppets to entertain themselves. Pretty easy metaphor when you get right down to it. A whole mess of Alonzo Phillips stuff. Most people have never heard this. Jerry Kranitz has heard this. Maybe Bob Jordan has heard this. Maybe Pete Zolli. I don't think anybody else. Horsefly. That was coffee house tunes that I wrote after I'd moved down here to North Carolina, trying to appeal to the kind of people that would go to a coffee house down here. Oh boy, really well recorded too at Charlie Poole's grandnephew's studio. There's 3 different Maximum Love Vibes compilations, which is what's playing in the background. Stegosaurus, Scotty Irving, me, and Dave Wortman. Dave Wortman is this overeducated music instructor, teacher, etc. Bitchin' saxophone player guy. There's a record of tunes that pt1 he asked me to come in the studio with an acoustic guitar and to sing the songs and go away. He intended to make a record of Brett's songs that girls could like. Oh God. Rather than that record, I sound a lot like Captain Beefheart. The music is really influenced by Doc at the radar station. Some of it. Walrus, that was all about my wife and her ex-husband and what a creepy bastard that guy used to be and his effect on our kids. Box Camera was the predecessor to Camera Obtusa, which had another drummer involved and another guy playing guitar. Eric Wallach, Jeff Sampson out in Colorado, and me. This is real ambient music. It's called Whoosh. If you like Derek Higgins' solo stuff, it's just like that except different. Okay, here it is. After about 15 years of people saying, "Oh, this song sounds like Beefheart," in a review of something I'd recorded, I took all of those tunes and put them on one disc. Slink Shoal Sluice. It's on a sign about 15 miles away from here near a river. What's this? Oh yeah, both Mount Rushmores, 1988. This one got incredibly good press all over the place, and I sold out all of my cassettes, and they were selling really good at homemademusic.com, as I recall, which I have copies of behind these ones, and these ones were the ones that came out on lulu.com later, and then they stopped doing music, and I think I got it up on Bandcamp now. Worcester, Massachusetts Bands Comp. I'm on one song on there. Even though I didn't live there anymore, they asked me to put a tune on it as sort of like an honorary guest because I'd done so much stuff when I lived there before that. Ben Waters, he's out doing acoustic blues stuff in the UK now, but if you heard what he was doing 20 years ago, it sounded a real lot like Trout Mask era Beefheart, and he's a great guitar player, slide, bass, whole bunch of things. That's one of his paintings on there. Let me show you the other one just a minute. He's very abstract expressionist, in my opinion. This one here. Love that stuff. Oh yeah, he also did the Delicate Furies cover. What a guy. Amy Denio and Me. It's an EP, really. There's only about 28 minutes worth of stuff on there. But her singing, looping, layering, amazing. Just, you know what she does. Well, imagine that completely blemished by the kind of things that I do. Me and Dave Wortman, he was the guy in Stegosaurus with Scotty Irving and me. There's some jazz standards on there that are really mutilated, like Take the A Train and oh God, there's an aria. It's pretty ill. What am I playing on there? Dobro, controlled line noise, feedback, VSO'd guitar, house sounds, and homemade instruments. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Me, Bob Jordan, and Nathan Westerland. That was just a one-off thing that happened at Bob's house. It was worth, I think, hearing again. Oh God, let's see here. I got no damn idea what that is. Mr. Axolotl, oh yeah, Pete Zolli, Greg Siegel, me and Don Campo. Proggy stuff. A couple tunes with voices that are kind of fireside theater-y in a way. It's pretty cool stuff. That is an axolotl right there. Let's see. Okay, more duet stuff. Me and Ernesto Diaz. Me and Ken Hyder, drummer from Talisker. And K-Space with Tim Hodgkinson. And etc. Just this really awesome guy. He does the Tuvan style of throat singing, where he produces harmonies in his sinuses and stuff while he's drumming. It's just too much. The Blunt, basically my very first prog band, and Syracuse, New York, Liverpool, with Jim Gass on drums and Jerry Mulvey on bass, and other people sometimes like Steve Segroy on trumpet. There's a couple songs on there that have been redone on Double Thud. Oh God, that's the crazy stuff that I was doing when I was in the Navy and couldn't get high. All I could do was drink all the time. And I had a 4-track in 1983. Oh, God help us all. You don't want to hear that one. It's horrible. Oh, this one's even worse. This is when I didn't have a 4-track, but my parents had this weird modular thing from Sears that had stereo microphones, inputs. So I'd record something on a school cassette deck and then play it into one microphone and have the other microphone near my guitar or some drums or something, and gradually multi-track my way up to a completely brain-melting mess because of the tape degradation every single time. Oh, it's really bad. You don't want to hear that. Mika Rintala, really cool guy. I think he works for Nokia in Finland, makes his own synthesizers. They're beautiful, and that's me and him. Mark Kissinger, Pennsylvania guitarist. Tom Nunn, kind of a famous improviser in the Bay Area. Look at the names of these instruments, they're really cool. These sort of metal, wood, resonant percussion devices. He wrote a book, Wisdom of the Impulse, about improv. It's really good. Finding Grace. If Neil Young wrote a record about how the American church is a bunch of bullshit, at least if you look at the way the people live that go there, then he might have wrote this record. What's up there? 3 different duet CDs with Bob Jordan. And there's the 3 Asteroid Schoolhouse CDs. Me, without any accompaniment. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 Some Pig CDs, which was a duets band with Ernesto Diaz Infante. No, excuse me, Ernesto Infante Diaz. Catbone, Hillbilly Punk that we had, me and my wife and Scotty Irving and either Jim Eanes or Brian Smith. Faced is kind of some songs that the band was playing. Sun Zoom, improvising group from Reedsville, North Carolina, got together twice, made 2 records. Who's that? Funkmeister G in Australia. Crazy, crazy, intuitive musician, punk, verbal splat, whatever. I did 2 duets records with him. And finally, I did one with Scotty Irving. In fact, I might have been the 3rd one I did any of these with. And that is not even all of it, but I'm going to stop now because, God.